the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now, entertainers.
Little pick play, complete, Schroeder. Welcome everybody to Hampshire Stadium on a Friday night. Mason Pratt here alongside once again Shane Creel, getting you ready for Deer Park's home opener of 2025. The Deer trying to bounce back after a loss in the border battle last week, a back and forth contest that the Deer fell short of. It's always tough to win a rivalry game. Makes it much tougher when your defense gives up over or close to 500 yards.
Yeah, it was a tough showing for the Deer on defense for sure, but a lot of positives to take away from it. They got a little bit younger group that they're fielding this year, and so the quicker you can get those guys experience and quicker you get them used to the big lights and loud noises, the better they're going to do.
Playing host to a Woodlands Highlander team that had a dominant showing in week one over Cinco Ranch. Shut out Cinco Ranch 27-0, holding them to just 165 yards of total offense. And we're getting ready for the national anthem, so we'll throw it over to the PA announcer here at Hampshire.
Commander Cadet Command Sergeant Major Aiden Beatty, Co-Commander Cadet Second Lieutenant Samara Flores, the right guard Cadet Captain Caden Hood, and the left guard Cadet Second Lieutenant Violet Shaw. And now our national anthem. Officials for tonight's game, referee Clint Rhodes, umpire Andrew Duggan, headline judge Charles Peacock, line judge Joe Petmaniak, line judge Clay Roach, side judge Clarence Harris, and field judge Tim Donovan. Sports staff, game clock Scott Johnson, play clock Logan Holden, boxman Chris Petmaniak, chain number 1 Robert Henson, and chain number 2 Ginger Taylor.
National anthem wrapping up here at Hampshire, getting you ready for the coin toss here between Deer Park and the Woodlands. And Shane, you touched on it a few moments ago. A younger group, but led by the sophomore quarterback who had a decent outing last week in his debut. Hayden LaFred's 2 touchdowns, rushed well as well. He had a nice debut in his first game as a starter.
Certainly, he didn't look starstruck or shy at all. He was throwing the ball nicely, running the ball nicely, downhill very fast when he needed to be, which is really nice. And I mean, the offense as a whole seemed to be clicking all the way kind of towards the end of the game. They bogged down a little bit, but you know, there's some things that you always want to just constantly be working on as you go through the season, and you point them out pretty quickly and get them fixed and move on. It's only a loss if you don't learn from it, right?
That's right. I guess that's coach speak right there.
Especially in the non-district games.
And a tough task here tonight, taking on a Woodlands team. And the Woodlands, they've been so good for so long. They've run into a buzzsaw the last few seasons in the playoffs.
Deferred their option to the second half.
So Woodlands going to receive the ball here to open up things. And like we said, last 3 years for the Woodlands, they've had almost double-digit wins in 2 of those 3 years, but they've lost in the third round those last 3 years because they've had to run into Duncanville.
Which is a different animal
Yeah.
a lot of times. But I will say this about the Woodlands. They are such a great program, and they've just been so consistent. The kids are so disciplined. I mean, they're really fun to watch on tape. They're fun to play against because you know what you're going to get. I'm interested to see what Coach Flynn has cooked up. You know, he likes to go a lot of different formations, see how they react, and see where maybe he can out-leverage some guys, some misdirection here and there.
Parker Stewart going to be the deep man for the Highlanders, waiting the kickoff. Deer Park in their home opener of 2025. And now Kaysen Bartolazzo also back deep. So he, along with Stewart, standing back at their own 5-yard line, waiting on the kickoff. And we are underway. Line drive kick. Stewart's going to watch this one go about halfway deep into the end zone. It'll be a touchback as we open up things.
Tell you one of the things that I noticed right off the bat compared to last year that you can see just a huge improvement on. A lot of it has to do with the different type of guy kicking the ball, but the kicking team and the kick coverage as a whole was just really, really nice last week. And you cannot emphasize enough all 3 phases of the game, and special teams is one of those phases.
So this Highlanders offense comes to the line of scrimmage at their own 25, led by Jack Dalton, and everything offensively going to go through that quarterback right there as they shift now. Twins to each side, roll in the pocket for Dalton. Quick little hitch route, caught, good snag up ahead to the 29-yard line, caught by Colton Waddell. Reaching out there and snagging that.
Yeah, and Dalton is just such a sharp, smart player. You kind of know what you're going to get with him. He's going to take what you're going to give him. So if you start playing real soft on him like that, he's going to just dump it down something quick.
Pick up a 4 there on first down. Dalton with the snap. They'll go on the ground for the first time, and Dalton with a keeper along the left side. Should be enough for a Woodlands first down.
Just their traditional zone look, but he pulls it and he takes it off the backside of zone. Good job by the backside linebacker kind of folding in on that.
Woodlands going quickly with tempo here. First down at 10 from their own 35-yard line. Now going to look towards the Highlanders sideline. Option look. They go on the ground. Hand off to the running back. Up ahead for pickup of about 3.
Yep, and Derek Wojtek again, linebacker. You'll hear his name a lot. He makes a lot of those tackles. What I think is really impressive watching the Woodlands is how quickly you can watch their guards get up to the second level when they run that zone. That was a little fold where they kind of folded the tackle in on either side, but it was good defense by Deer Park.
Cody Jordan, the running back, going to get the call here, looking for a hole up the middle. Just lowers his shoulder, tries to pick up what he can, gets ahead to the 40 for a short pickup of 2. That'll set up a 3rd down and 5 to go for the Woodlands.
Let's keep an eye on the energy of the D-line, because I felt like that was one of the things last week that LaPorte just really started grinding on them. They had some big guys up front towards the end of the 3rd quarter. They really were making the D-line work. You see more of a 3-man front here like Deer Park likes to run.
3rd down, 5 to go. They're going to motion Jordan out of the backfield. Dalton sets his feet, fires incomplete, nearly undercut by Wojtek. He was enough to disrupt the concentration.
Well, I tell you what, that's a great job by the defense. When you go empty like that out of the backfield, it's basically a little snag concept where they ran the back out hoping to widen that linebacker, which happened. snuck the #1 receiver out behind him. He just wasn't able to hold on to it. So good job by defense getting a punt right here.
So Andon Schroeder going to be back deep for Deer Park, back at his own 25. Had a big play last week. Waiting on the punt here. Plenty of time, and a high soaring kick sends Schroeder back inside his own 20. No fair catch, but he's going to be brought down immediately. Good coverage by the Woodlands. And Deer Park going to start this one inside their own red zone from the 18.
I'm really looking forward to see kind of the new wrinkles as each week progresses. That's what you see on offenses a lot of time. You kind of have a lot of different formations and things that you're always going to see with Coach Flynn and his offense, but then what kind of wrinkles and how do they adapt each week as you go on. Young receiver here, John Arthur French. He showed some serious flash last week. I'd love to see him get involved early.
Yeah, 3 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown last week. He was wearing number 9 last week, switching to number 0 this week. From what we were told, a jersey malfunction. As LaFrenz on the keeper, goes along the right side. Picks up a handful.
And that is just a thing of beauty. He is one of those hard runners that he has the ability to get north and south so quickly. They have the flow of the backs going one way. They're basically running a pull off of that where he can just yank it and go. Kind of hits it backside, bounces to the outside. Very, very nice.
He was able to showcase the wheels a little bit last week. 9 carries for 80 yards for the sophomore quarterback. Picks up 4 here. Second down and 6. Stretch play. Yates stops, tries to cut back against the grain. Nothing doing there.
Yeah.
He's going to lose a couple back to the 20.
Yeah, I will say that is one thing that these inside linebackers for LaPorte are legit. I mean, number 7 and number 8, they're both big, tall, rangy guys that can absolutely fly. And when you run zone, they're thinking cloudy or clear. If they get clear, they're going for the run through like you had right there, and it's a loss.
Number 8, Cole Carlin, he was a first-team all-district selection last year. Third down and 8 for Deer Park on their opening drive. Yates in the backfield. LaFrenz takes the snap, looks right, fires, pass complete. Going to be short of the first down. John Arthur French gets his first catch. Going to be a yard shy, however. And offense at least hesitating. And now the punting unit going to come out. 4th and inches.
I think that's a good job by John Arthur there. If he doesn't come back to the ball like that, there's a good chance. There's guys right on him. So good job coming back to the ball. You'd like to get it right there at the sticks, but live to fight another day.
And you mentioned the young group. He a part of that, just a sophomore as well. Ball at the 28-yard line. High snap, going to go over the head. And Deer Park in trouble, just able to get it away. Great play there, and it's going to go up ahead to the 45. Fielded on a hop. Breaks through the first wave of tackles and brought down, but a good job by Deer Park to do what they could to flip the field there.
I want to give that guy some Mason Hill, punter right there. Man, way to stay cool, calm, and collected and get the punt off. And then you already got your punt team down there looking around waiting for the ball like what's going on. Don't let them pick it up and get any positive yards, though.
Great job by Hill, and even got a Deer Park bounce as well. So Woodlands out for their second drive. Better starting field position for this one at their own 44. Lincoln Halsey, the running back, gets the call here along the left side, lowers his shoulder, makes immediate contact and able to fall forward for a couple, but he met Brody Bailey right at the line of scrimmage.
That's what you want to see from your D lineman when he's taking kind of his slant on the bottom here, and he just takes the tackle for a ride and straight to the back. That's one of those things you can take advantage of with that zone.
Senior captain at that nose guard position. Second down and 8, Dalton. Quarterback draw, steps up, going to try and get the corner. He does, crosses midfield, picks up a block, and he will go out of bounds at the Deer Park 35. That is what Dalton can do. He had over 1,200 rushing yards last year and 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a great job by Dalton. You don't want to take anything away from him, but right there, that's something that we saw some flashes of last week. A little bit of some bad angles coming downhill from some of the safeties here and there. You want to see them being aggressive coming downhill, but taking some good angles would help them out a little bit.
Yeah, Kyler Ferris had a shot at him, but Dalton able to use his speed to get to the corner. They go back on the ground. Halsey up the middle. Takes it inside the 30. Good chunk of yards there on first down.
Yeah, watch those outside linebackers. Deer Park likes to play them a little bit deeper than you would traditionally see some outside linebackers, a little bit wider, taking away some of the flats. But as soon as they get a zone to them, you want to see those guys taking the air out on the outside right there. And who was that? You had number 44, Alex, coming in and making a nice tackle.
Second down and 5. Fake the give to Halsey. Keeper by Dalton. Breaks through the first tackle, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds after a short gain on the play. Going to come up a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, and that's the wrinkle off their inside zone, where if you start bringing those bringing the D ends in pretty tight, pretty quick onto the back, and he's just going to yank it out of the belly, and he's going one-on-one with the outside linebacker and a blocker in front of him.
Dalton, first team all-district quarterback selection last year, had over 40 touchdowns combined through the air and on the ground. They go back on the ground, trying to pick up the first down to Halsey. Going to be close to the line to get. And not going to get the first down, so it'll be 4th and inches. Offense staying on the field for Woodlands.
I feel like we saw a lot more of this Cody Jordan running back last week for them against Cinco Ranch. Wouldn't be surprised seeing him again downhill.
He checks into the game, get a lead block for Dalton, breaks through the first wave. Dalton inside the 20, breaks through another tackle, and upended at the 5, flag thrown back near the 15-yard line, so this one might be coming back.
Holding. Number 1, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 4th down.
So the hold called on the outside, the wide receiver Lancaster.
And that looks like one of those young guys playing corner down there, and that was something that I really, really was looking forward to seeing. How are they going to get off blocks and really fight to get off those blocks on the edges? Right there, he was fighting, and that's what got that call for him.
So that'll make it 4th down and 2. Offense once again staying out there for the Woodlands. Ball at the Deer Park 25-yard line. Try and pick up another 4th down. Little motion, handed off to Jordan, goes straight ahead, met by Bailey, but he's going to fall forward down to the 22, enough for a Woodlands first down.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the motion did a whole lot to the linebackers or anything, but when you get a little bit of a head of steam.
Yeah, nothing fancy about that one. That was just Jordan downhill. Picks up 3, enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. Dalton, 3 wide receiver set, looking towards the sideline now. Past the halfway point of this first quarter. Dalton looks left, going to go fade route towards the end zone. His man has a step, but just outside the reach of Bryson Bourne, who had a step on Sykes.
And that's something you got to be prepared for if you're one of the young guys playing with the older guys here. You get one-on-one coverage over there. They had a couple of shots last week against Cinco Ranch. They just happened to overthrow, and Deer were very lucky there too.
Sykes, another one of the sophomores starting for Deer Park, tested against a quality opponent tonight. 2nd down and 10 from the 22. Back on the ground, Jordan. Again, just into the heart and teeth of that defense. Bailey able to wrap him up from behind, and forward progress going to be stopped after 2-yard gain. Bailey having a nice start to the night.
He's able to take on 2 blocks right there, and that really kind of frees up some of the linebackers to move around and drive them back into him.
Sets up a 3rd down and 8 to go. 4 wideouts come out for Dalton here. Running back Jordan now shifting over towards the right side. He's going to go out, thrown up the middle, has a step behind his man, but incomplete. Great pressure there defensively from Deer Park. I think that caused the misfire.
Woo! Yep.
Caleb Wingo, I believe.
They sent the running back straight up the seam out of the backfield there, and watch this on the replay. He's lined up in the backfield, and he just shoots past. That's a linebacker's responsibility. When you're a linebacker kind of used to going laterally and then downhill at the running back, for you to flip your hips and run against a running back that's running full speed, that's a tough task right there.
Coming on for the long field goal attempt.
Woo.
Line drive kick. And it is going to go wide right, no good. So the Deer Park defense able to hold.
I'd really like to see an extended drive here for the offense because, like we mentioned, that defense just bowed their neck a little bit, got off the field. Don't want a 3 and out where they're coming back out pretty winded now.
Crutchington last week, he was perfect. 3 for 3 on extra points, 2 for 2 on field goals, including a 44-yarder. So he's got the leg.
I didn't see who came off of that left side of the Woodlands formation for Deer Park, but he got a great jump, took a good angle, and you know, kickers can be thrown off too by some subtle things.
2 in the backfield here for Deer Park on first down as they take over at their own 21. Yates to the right, hand it off to Schroeder, trying to turn the corner, and Yates unable to get up block, and that allows that Woodlands defense to come in and take down Schroeder for a loss.
You know, I really like the formation right there. They basically went with a dead receiver out here wide, unbalanced. They had 4 in the backfield. Woodlands didn't rotate to the dead receiver. They stayed at their same depth, and like they're covering them. Run to that side, you got all these extra blockers over there, and you're outnumbering them. So I would like to see them come back to that, but run it to the dead receiver side if they don't adjust.
Second down and 13. They're going to roll the pocket for LaFrance. Hesitates, now going to try and take it himself, finds a little bit of breathing room, and gets back near the original line of scrimmage and a couple of yards more.
Tell you what, those 2 receiver concepts are going to be pretty tough against this secondary. They're very smart. They're very used to getting over the top, kind of a smash concept right there with the number 2 receivers going to a deep post. LaFrance looked like he was ready to throw the ball pretty quick, and the receiver is still not even close to making his break. So
Parker Stewart, the senior cornerback, number 2, had 2 picks in this matchup last year as LaFrance on third down. Buying time, airs it out deep, and it's going to be picked off by Stewart back inside the 35. Breaks through a tackle, looking for blockers. He's got a convoy down the far sideline, now cutting it back against the grain at the 40 and taking it down to the Deer Park 35. Parker Stewart loves playing against Deer Park, his 3rd pick against the Deer in the last 2 years.
it's hard to get behind him. They're both the safeties are just so smart. It looked like we had a illegal block below the waist on the return, maybe.
Yeah,
but
flag thrown back at the Woodlands 47.
He stayed on top of the receiver the whole time, and he ran it like he was the receiver. So maybe an ill-advised throw for the young sophomore quarterback, but those are things you learn from, and you make adjustments, switch it up.
First down, Woodlands.
Great ball skills from the senior cornerback, and it's the game's first turnover.
I don't
set the Woodlands back to their own 32. So a big swing of yardage there on the penalty.
Right. That's equivalent of a punt almost. Taking a deep shot.
So the defense back out there for Deer Park. Dalton and company back to work. Hesitates a moment on the quick throw, and that one thrown into the dirt on the pass intended for Lancaster. Didn't like a little extra contact there. He, along with Kyler Ferris, exchanging not exactly handshakes.
Keep an eye on the young corner up top there. They're giving him single coverage most of the time, one-on-one, man-to-man, whenever they go multiple receivers to the other side. Now they're balanced up. He might be comboing a little bit more.
Dalton with a deep drop, looks, fires, pass, short-armed it again, intended for Lancaster. Lancaster wants a flag, not going to get it. And just like that, the Highlanders looking at a 3rd down and long.
Pretty unusual for Dalton, who I feel like has a great accuracy to him, and maybe it's just being a little bit off with the receiver right here, but oh man, we got guys substituting super late, have to use a timeout.
Deer Park forced to burn their first timeout with 2:51 to go here in the first quarter. Still scoreless so far between Deer Park and the Woodlands. And at least through this first quarter so far, Deer Park defense, who, like we talked about, struggled, giving up a lot of yardage in that game last week against LaPorte, taking on a good Woodlands offense, and they've been able to keep them off the scoreboard so far.
So far, you know, the Woodlands have missed a couple of just really nice opportunities. So hopefully you're not thinking, oh, we're doing things great.
Yeah.
Right? You're still making adjustments, still seeing where you could get better, because it could very easily already be multiple points on the board here, multiple scores.
Yeah.
We talked about the youth of this team for Deer Park, evident on the defensive side of things as well. We talked about Sykes, a sophomore, number 22, starting corner, and also the other starting corner. So you have both of your starting corners, Sykes and Caden Gladney, sophomores, at a very important position on the defensive side of things. 3rd down and 10. 3 wideouts. Dalton looks left, throws that way. Trying to go sideline on the pass intended. Looked like Parker Stewart, who they had split out as a wideout there.
Yeah, they got the one-on-one coverage with Sykes again. But I tell you what, his bail was nice. He was not going to get beat deep again like he did earlier. And the route was actually really nice too. Made it look like he was hitting the post, and then in the last second he broke it off to the comeback to the outside. Just again, Dalton, the receivers are not quite connecting.
Schroeder back deep, another towering punt. This one going to land at the Deer Park 41. Takes a bit of a Woodlands roll before going out of bounds. So Dalton last season completed 75% of his passes, and so very unlike Dalton on 3 straight on that last drive for him to misfire. Had guys open on all 3 plays.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm a little bit befuddled as well, because I think that their run game is pretty sharp with just letting him hand it off and then pull it here and there, and throwing the ball quite as much as they have has confused me a little bit. But hey, got to take the wins when you can get them.
See what Deer Park can do. Taking over at their own 36-yard line.
Oh, we got it.
Good hole along the right side, and Deer Park picks up a 1st down.
Just a simple zone, but they it looked like it might have gone away from their, or gone towards their slant maybe, to where all they had to do was kick out one guy, and then you're one-on-one with a cornerback. That's always the best case scenario for a running back. You'd always try and like to get that formation and get him one-on-one with a corner.
Ball now at the Deer Park 47 following the 11-yard run. Little misdirection here. John Arthur French looking for somewhere to go. Nothing doing. Going to be tracked down. Jairee Jefferson along the defensive line. Another first-team all-district selection last year. 10 sacks in 2024. Picked up a sack last week in the win over Cinco Ranch, including a pick 6 as well. So he was a busy guy along that defensive line. 2nd down. 13. Now looking for another hole for Deer Park up the middle. Zuniga trying to fight back to the original line of scrimmage.
I don't know. The 2 plays before, yeah, 2 plays before this, they had a lot going on in the backfield. Looked like they were doing a GT counter and then end up tossing it as like a reverse, but you got no blockers out here to help out on the reverse really. So
3rd down and 9. Looking to throw back the other way, but Whistle's going to blow this play dead. Looked like they were trying to set up a Little tight end screen to Paradise.
I think we got the motion guy started off. Little, jumped the gun a little bit there.
Short snap. False start. Number 2, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Called on Braylon Aston Jackson there. Got a little bit of an early jump. Going to make this third down even longer.
It's a good time for one of those wide receiver screens that popped for some good yardage last week. I'll tell you what. Get one block out there.
Yeah, had quite a bit of success with that one against the Bulldogs last week. Especially John Arthur French took a wide receiver screen 70 plus for a touchdown. 3rd and 14 here from their own 42. Woodlands springs 4, pocket collapsing. LaFrenne steps up, wrapped up, escapes somehow, keeps the play alive, and lets it fly deep downfield, and it's going to be batted down at the 21-yard line. But what an effort by the sophomore to keep that play alive.
Impressive. I mean, I think it was about 3 times that I was like, he's down. Oh, whoa, he's not down. Oh, he's down. No, he's not down. On those scramble drills, you want to see some of those receivers.
Wow.
If you're deep, you're coming back to the ball. If you're in the middle of the field, you're just making it to the sideline. If you're close, you're shooting down the line of scrimmage.
Mason Hill waiting on the snap, punts it away. 2 back deep for the Woodlands. It'll be Parker Stewart. Muffs it down inside the 20, rolls inside the 10, now picks it up on a hop.
Oh, no.
Has some green in front of him, out past the 25, out past the 30. And a good job by Stewart after letting the initial ball go through his hands and roll inside the 10. Picks up about 20 on the return.
Great job by him. You'd like to see your coverage team find their breaks a little bit once he gets a hold of the ball, because he makes one cut and he's kind of running in open field all of a sudden.
So back and forth we go, field position wise. Woodlands under a minute to go, first quarter. Starting this one at their own 33-yard line. Dalton with 3 wideouts. Now going to motion Waddell. Tight to the line, hand it off here on first down. Looks like Jordan, the running back, gets the call here. Actually, a new running back, number 23 on the carry. Jason Haskins, I believe his first carry of the night, picks up about 4.
Keeping those guys fresh.
Yeah, already the
3 deep.
third different running back we've seen so far. Coming up on the last few seconds of the first quarter. Dalton looking towards the sideline, may just let this one run out. And that does it for the first quarter. So a defensive stalemate so far through the first 12 minutes. And Deer Park and the Woodlands tied at 0 after the first. Back with more here from Hampshire Stadium. You're watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first every day.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park. Great, thanks so much. It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730.
Back here to open up the second quarter from Hampshire Stadium. Woodlands with the ball. Second down and 6. Quick little out route on the completion of Bryson Bohr. Going to set up a 3rd down and short. So the first 12 minutes gone by. Deer Park and the Woodlands tied at 0. Anything stick out so far?
It looks like both of the offenses are really not quite finding a groove. That's the best way I can put it. They'll put together 1 or 2 plays and then, you know, just really.
Quarterback draw for Dalton. Breaks through the first way, picks up the 1st down, and Dalton takes it into Deer Park territory. Showing off the wheels and taking it down to the Deer Park 38.
This was the play, and him running the ball was the thing that I think I mentioned to you right when I walked in that would give me the most fits as a defensive guy trying to prepare for them, because that QB draw, the zone read stuff he can do, the scramble, those are all things that, man, you want to contain them, shut down the running alleys.
1st down and 10. Dalton, quick handoff, fakes the give to Haskins, keeps it himself, and picks up a couple down to the 36.
Man, I tell you what, who's that? Number 44, playing outside linebacker out here. He's made a couple of nice plays where he's actually got someone trying to block him, and he's getting off the block, and he's able to make a tackle. Lex, I don't want to try the last name and mess it up, Mason.
Sablatura?
There you
How
go.
about that?
Well, Lex Luthor was.
Oh, God. Well, that's not even trying. 2nd down and 8 from the Deer 36. Dalton fakes the give to Jordan, under pressure, steps up, has a man open with a step, caught, touchdown, Woodlands. Dalton able to hang in the pocket and deliver that ball beautifully. And Jamison Gavin getting underneath it for the Woodlands score.
Oh, we needed Lex to get on his horse because he actually had a called blitz right there coming off the edge, and maybe if he gets there another second sooner, it's not such a nice throw. Receivers able to get behind the secondary.
Grudgington coming on for the extra point, looking to give the Woodlands a 7-point lead. And he's able to boot it through.
Tell you what, if I had to guess what their coaching staff seems to believe right now, the weakness is the secondary. And they made it apparent by how willing they are to go up top and really just throw the ball around, because so far in the first quarter, most of the second quarter, the run game has been pretty successfully shut down. But
is that maybe causing some hesitation on the back end? We've seen multiple receivers behind defenders already, and that's what happened on that touchdown right there.
It's just such a thin line for the secondary, because you want those guys to be willing to come downhill when they're reading run, right, to help out, because if the crease happens, you're going to be the last line of defense. You don't want that last line of defense to be 15 yards down the field where they're gashing you for easy run yardage. But, man, if you're reading pass, you've got to be taking your responsibilities there first. Stating the obvious, I think. Sorry.
So Trace Yates, John Arthur French back deep for Deer Park. Arthur French backpedaling into the end zone. Offset, and that ball rolls out. And Deer Park, instead of the touchback, going to have to take over at their own 6 after this one goes off the chest of John Arthur French.
I tell you what, keep in mind he is a sophomore, right? And I do want that guy getting the ball. Definitely want him getting the ball. I would like to get him some confidence back right away right here. Something simple, something quick, one of those screens, little 5-yard hitch. Get him right back in the game, because he is one of your playmakers for sure.
Offense back to it. Worst starting field position of the night by far at their own 6-yard line. Paradise in motion. Yates standing in the end zone. Long developing handoff for Yates, trying to just get upfield, and gets ahead to about the 9 for a pickup of 3.
I mean, if you just watch their corners, the safeties, They're not giving up a deep ball really right now. They're staying over the top of everything. Super slow, like you said, on the handoff. Just a simple zone play. Maybe he had an option to yank it and throw something downfield, but
heavy formation here. Only one wideout and loaded up in the backfield. Yates and Zuniga. Hand it off for Yates, trying to find a hole and a crease. Nothing there. Great job defensively for the Woodlands to string that one out. Number 98, Magnus Herndon.
I could be mistaken, but you know, I felt like last week they had a lot more success with more of their gap scheme, power and counter running. And it seems, I don't know if we've seen a called power or counter yet tonight where it's just a handoff like that.
They're Park in trouble here. 3rd down and 7, trying to avoid the 3 and out. Woodlands shows pressure, got motion up front, flag thrown. Was the defense drawn offsides? The Friends trying the hard count there to draw a little.
Might be picking this flag up.
Movement up front. And boy, Kieselhorst last year, so good at that hard count.
Yes.
God.
Well, they did get the defense.
And LaFrenz, not too bad either. Gets the offsides penalty here on the Woodlands.
You know, whenever you got your O lineman in a 2-point stance and they do that look at the sideline, all of a sudden, the D linemen are wanting to kick off and go, and that's where they got them.
Much more manageable 3rd down here. Deer Park needing a long, sustained drive offensively. LaFrenz sends Arthur French in motion. Trying to develop something for him. LaFrenz pass over the head of his intended target. Great coverage on the drag route.
I just sprint out to the quarterback's left with a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. That's just, it's asking a lot for the young quarterback to be able to flip his hips. And I mean, like I said, their coverage is nice.
Pass intended for Braylon Aston Jackson there. Deer Park going to have to once again punt it away. And Parker Stewart, who we've already seen what he can do with the ball in his hands, waiting on the punt. Woodlands brings a little bit of pressure and a high spiraling kick. Hauled in by Stewart, who had a little bit of contact from his own man there. Good job to hold on to that ball. And the Woodlands going to start this drive inside Deer Park territory.
So we need some pressure for sure on the defensive side of the ball right here. Cannot let him just sit back there and chunk it deep to some of these speedsters they have. Safeties, know your keys. You read pass. Make sure you get into that back pedal, weave, turn and run.
Dalton and company back to it, coming off that touchdown on their last drive. 1st and 10 from the Deer Park 46. Jordan in the backfield with Dalton. Gets the handoff along the right side, gets the first wave and picks up a few. Down to the 43.
That's a pretty good fit right there by Kyler Ferris, the safety. Red run, and he's coming downhill trying to fit off those linebackers, and he's right there in the mix.
2nd down and 7. Woodlands going with a little bit of tempo. Waddell motions back towards the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7. Back on the ground for Jordan. Shifts his way to the 2nd level, keeps those feet moving. Little rugby scrum inside the 40, and forward progress going to be stopped at the 38. Like you said, this running game for the Woodlands has had so much success tonight. It's really kept them on schedule, down and distance-wise.
Yeah, it really opens up everything in the playbook.
3rd down and 2. Keeper by Dalton. Makes a man miss, and Dalton once again off and running, taking it down inside the 20. beat the one-on-one tackle and picks up the first down and a whole lot more.
Man, that's where it's a lot to ask right there out in open space, man. You got a near foot, keep your base.
20-yard run by the quarterback. And Dalton, he's not a blazer with his speed, but just makes enough little subtle movements as he goes in zone here. Has a man open, but overthrew his man. Pass intended on Gavin, who just had that touchdown reception a few moments ago.
Tell you what, there are guys running open consistently right now, Mason, and he doesn't seem to be too stressed. I know he kind of rolled out with that one, but those are two bad things to have in combination with each other. Guys running open and no hurry to throw.
Second down and 10 from the Deer Park 18. 6:43 left in the first half. Woodlands trying to build on their 7-0 lead. Hand it off to Jordan. Into the teeth of that defense. Bailey trying to lead the charge defensively for Deer Park. That front seven able to converge on Jordan, and
they're doing a nice job on just the straight handoffs. D-line is not getting shoved back by the O-line. Linebackers are, I mean, they are making tackles. What really is hurting them right now is when he yanks the ball or whenever he decides to run the ball on one of those draws.
Third down and 8. Back on the ground. Jordan makes a man miss near the line of scrimmage, falls forward. Going to be well shy of the first down as he gets down to the 13. Past the halfway point of the second quarter, and Woodlands looking at a 4th down and 5. Going to sit out the field goal unit. This one's going to be about a 30-yarder. Near the middle of the field. Crutchington 0 for 1 on field goals so far tonight. Line drive kick by Crutchington. He's able to boot it through, giving the Highlanders a 2-possession lead now as they jump out to a 10-0 lead.
Well, you know, with the offense coming back out, you got 5 minutes to put together a nice drive, hopefully, and get some points on the board before halftime. You get the ball back at halftime, you're in a whole new ball game, right? What I would really like to see is you want your offense to be able to get into that groove. What's the easiest way to get into that groove? Simple, quick plays. I mean, I'm not saying you have to pass the ball. You can keep running it. You can run the quarterback. But a couple of your really just kind of in your bag, you love them type of plays. Those wide receiver screens, I'm going to go back to it because they were so successful last week.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that yet. What were we successful at last week? What are some things that we really did well? Let's get those to get the series started here.
Deer Park, they've struggled. They've shown flashes of success, usually followed by a play or two where things don't quite go their way. So, like you were saying, Shane, just trying to find something that they can build on. You have Yates and Schroeder back deep. Good boot by Crutchington. Schroeder from a couple yards deep in his own end zone. Going to take it out. Schroeder following a block and ran right into the defender at about the 22.
Looked like he had some space there too, didn't he?
Sure did. But Schroeder taking the place of John Arthur French on the kick return.
Well, he's a nice one to have back there too. A little bit more experience with him, obviously. But like I said, something that you just feel real comfortable with. You know, you can do some of your motions and hand the ball off. You can run the quarterback, something that's been very positive for you last week, or something quick. We have not seen anything quick to any receiver yet. Everything's been pretty down the field as far as route concepts.
First down and 10. Arthur French in motion. They go back the other way. Option look. Keeper by LaFrance. Breaks to the first wave, and the sophomore off and running. Inside Woodlands territory and taken down at the 38-yard line. That's what you need.
Great job, man. LaFrenz, he's just a football player. You can see it, just the way he's willing to hit it when he needs to hit it. Motion the other way. You get full flow, zone this way. Not afraid of contact. There we go.
A quick little throw out to Aston Jackson. Picks up a great block. Aston Jackson picks up a first down.
Now we're starting to feel that groove, right? We're starting to feel a little bit of that groove. Some of the things that were really in their back pocket last week, and just in general with Coach Flynn's offense, moving the ball, moving the sticks.
Deer Park with a new offensive coordinator this year. Deer Park after back-to-back plays that pick up big yardage. First down and 10 at the Woodlands 25. 4:35 and counting to go here in the first half. LaFrenz hands it off to Yates. Cuts back towards the right side of the formation and right into the arms.
That'll happen when you don't follow your lead blocker on power. You got your big old left guard pulling on the play, and he kind of bounced it outside of him instead of sticking it up inside where the pull was going. And so, hey man, on those gap scheme runs, you want to follow those big boys.
Timothy Park, one of those inside linebackers that you talked about for the Woodlands, in on the stop there. Second down and 10, and another penalty might be pushing Deer Park back here.
Yeah, right tackle couldn't quite hold it together.
Quarter snap, false start, 77, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And this is kind of what you really hate to see. It's like when you get the momentum going, man, you got to step on the gas. No brakes, and over here, we're over here pulling the emergency brake all of a sudden, it feels like.
Ball pushed back to the Woodlands 30. Second and 15. Three wideouts far side of the field. John Arthur French split out by himself to the numbers to the bottom of your screen. But a little delayed quarterback draw. LaFrenz hurdles a man at the 25. Saquon Barkley-esque.
He is fun to watch.
Wow.
Fun to watch. Just no fear in the man. Just kind of a delay. Oh, we missed the ISO block, but it didn't matter.
Wow.
Got out to the outside, hurdled a man.
Sophomore showing off the springs.
Tell you what, we haven't seen our boy fullback tight end Paradise sneak into the kind of intermediate range yet.
Arthur French motions into the backfield, and once again, whistles come in, but this one going to be timeout called by Coach Flynn. Obviously feels, and it is, a big play. Third down and 10 with 2:48 to go.
Yeah, take a little time, think about it. Make sure you got the best play picked out here for this third and long. And, you know, we know that they've got a kicker that can boom the ball. So just don't want to take anything too negative right here. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to get a first down or go score.
Yeah.
But
so third down and 10 coming up. Likely going to be putting the ball in the air. Really, the only success so far through the air has been that quick little screen to Aston Jackson earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and you know, you can still go down the field and make a little quick pop pass where you go 5-yard hitch to the number 2 receiver if you can, you know, if you do something with the back where you're kind of meshing the ball, you get that outside linebacker to kind of collapse in on the mesh, and then you wing it out there, a little quick pass, you can let your players then go break a tackle and do something with it, you know?
Aston Jackson going to line up in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Arthur French next to him. Third down and 10. Woodlands brings pressure. LaFrenz escapes the pocket. Buying time, goes. Called in at the 5. And spun out of bounds. Aston Jackson skies for it and keeps the Deer Park drive going.
I tell you what, I just love to see right there from a couple of different players. First of all, your O-line, they got a lot coming at them, and they're doing a great job with what they got. The quarterback, I mean, he never thought twice about just pulling it, running. His eyes are downfield the whole time. But Action Jackson realizes, hey, look, I'm in a nice spot. He thinks about going down the field a little bit, but he just settles right there where he knows he's kind of open. That's the hardest thing sometimes for some of those receivers to do on a scramble drill, is to just kind of settle.
1st and goal at the 6. Deer Park trying to cap off the drive. Hand it off on 1st down. And spun down, stacked up at the line. Christian Gamez, the senior. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, he's kind of that power back that they like to use in short yardage situations, but they had some serious penetration on that play, so there was not a lot of space for him to go.
And you mentioned it on that 3rd down play. Just what a mature play that is from your quarterback, who escapes the pocket, sees a little bit of daylight, but doesn't want just 4 or 5 yards because he knows that's not going to be enough. Keeps his eyes downfield, like you said.
Right, and that, I mean, that's a maturity thing there, that he's obviously more mature than his age would indicate, right? So he's looking down there, and I was actually really impressed because I'm looking downfield too, and you could see Jackson thinking, I'm about to take off running up the field. He kind of looking around, he's like, well, I'm all alone right here. And he just settled right there, and sure enough, he hit him. He goes up and gets the ball. Crucial 1st down right there. Really want to make this pay off and get the 7 before the break.
Deer Park with the timeout left in their pocket. Woodlands has all 3 should they get the ball back here. And here we go back to that 3rd down play. And so many quarterbacks would just take off right there. But Aston Jackson settling, found space.
He saw he had a few buddies who were already kind of in the end zone with guys around him, so he's like, I ain't going there. Nice job.
2nd down and goal, ball at the 7.
Goal to go for the 7-yard line for Deer Park.
Zuniga checks back in. Deer Park going to stack the right side of the line. Mishandled the friends. Now going to have to take off to the left side. Makes a man miss, and the quarterback is in. Touchdown. Looked like a busted play.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the snap or what, but he said he's going to take it himself. And that's what man, you just love to see that when you got some guys that want to put the team on their back like that. You talk about having guys step up. Hey, we need somebody to step up. We need somebody to step up. Well, when it's your quarterback, that's the best thing ever.
And LaFriend strides into the end zone and gets Deer Park on the board. Extra point on the way and good, and it is back down to a 1-possession game. Deer Park flag thrown on the far side of the field, so we'll check the penalty here, but
I think it's offsides on the defense.
What a drive and what a response offensively from Deer Park. And yeah, offsides the call. That'll be declined. So 10-7 with 1:53 to go in the 1st half. Just what Deer Park needed.
Yeah, I don't want to get too many more of those 3rd and long situations because, you know, last week they had some trouble protecting the quarterback. And right there, you know, he's getting to be a little bit more of a wily player, stepping up, squirting out of the side of the pocket there and making something happen. But you keep it more manageable, and that allows you to stay in that flow state with all the different plays you like to run. Quick screen to Action Jackson, pulling it with the quarterback, letting him run the ball. We can't forget, we also got a couple other quarterback types that they could bring in there in some different scenarios. Wingo, we saw him a little bit last year that would come in there in the backfield, run the ball. The jet motion with the different fast receivers, Schroeder.
Minute 53. Woodlands going to get the ball back, and they have a full complement of timeouts as well. So for as well as your offense was just able to respond, going to need your defense to keep that going as well.
Yep, if I'm a secondary guy, I'm like, do not get beat deep.
Deer Park going to be kicking into a pretty strong wind coming out of the south. See if Deer Park maybe just goes for a little bit of a chip shot here. And they do. Going to be hauled in at about the 18 by the safety. Bartolozzo, who's wrapped up and slung down at the 25.
That's a great tackle by John Davis there, I believe. Open field, wraps him up.
Tackle made by number 7. Correction number 47, John Davis.
I think tackling was probably a big area of emphasis after last week. Now, the running back they went against last week for Laporte is the real deal. He is a hard runner, but you want to see it improve each week.
Great wrap-up tackle there by John Davis. First down and 10 for the Woodlands at their own 26, minute 48 to go. And they'll keep it on the ground on first down. Keeps the feet churning. Forward progress, stopped at the 30. Carry by Halsey. And we've seen, like we said, just a revolving door in the backfield for the Woodlands so far in this first half. Clock running inside of a minute and a half to go.
Fresh guys is always a danger.
Second down and 6 from the 30. Dalton buying time, goes deep. His man's got a step inside the 30. He's able to beat Sykes. And Woodlands strikes back in just 2 plays and a flag thrown at the back end. Eli Lancaster got behind the defense and a 70-yard bomb from the Highlanders.
Oh boy, young guy mistake there by Sykes. He was so flat-footed the entire time and did not flip his hips to run until the receiver was probably even or past him. And those are just things that a little bit of experience will get you used to for sure.
Just what you were trying to avoid late in this first half, trying to keep the Woodlands off the scoreboard. Especially as Shane talked about earlier, you're going to get the ball back to start the second half, and this unsportsmanlike penalty going to be called on Lancaster after he kind of
shimmied,
taunted, and talked a little as he was going into the end zone. Now I can recall, they might have gotten rid of this rule by now, but when you had that unsportsmanlike before you got in the end zone, that used to negate a touchdown. I can recall, I think it was maybe against Clear Creek or C.E. King several years ago.
Was it thrown before he went into the end zone?
I think it might have been. I think they might have let it go.
Oh, okay.
And then I think he did a little extra in the end zone, and I think that's what might have drew the flag. But I thought it easily could have been called even as he was backpedaling in.
After the score, sportsmanlike conduct, number 1, Woodlands. That penalty will be counted off on the kickoff.
So going to be enforced on the ensuing kickoff here, but Lancaster and Dalton connect for the 70-yard touchdown.
And Lancaster is one of their go-to receivers, and you got to know when he's lined up across from you, he's got some serious speed. There's only a minute something left in the half. Oof.
Lancaster, the senior, 373 yards last year, 5 touchdowns. He gets his first touchdown of 2025. Clean pocket for Dalton. And Lancaster with several steps. And there you see it. Spin it into the end zone, and a little dance. Oh, you can't do that.
He got the gun, the bow and arrow out, all the weapons.
So that unsportsmanlike penalty, maybe Deer Park able to take advantage here. Still got a minute 10 to go and a timeout. Get a good return, maybe get something to build on here late.
We know they've got guys with big play capabilities. Last week, you had John Arthur French take a simple screen. I don't know the yardage, but it felt like 90 yards almost. It wasn't. It was probably more like 60 or so. But, I mean, big play capability. Schroeder down the middle last week for a deep 84-yarder, 80 something.
John Arthur French, 71.
71, there you go.
And then, yeah, Schroeder had the 84-yard
so you got
catch and run.
Big play capabilities, but based on what you're seeing in this game, you're not getting behind them so far. No, I have not seen anyone on any route concept deeper than their guy. So there we come back to, you got to make a guy miss. Come underneath them, make a guy miss, and then go play ball.
So following the unsportsmanlike penalty, this ball pushed back to the 25. Schroeder and Yates back at about their own 20. And it'll be Schroeder. Great kick. Takes it inside his own 10. Looking for a hole up the middle. Schroeder past the 40. Crosses midfield. Schroeder down the near sideline. Kickoff return. Put 6 on the board. Touchdown.
Wow. There was not even a blip of hesitancy right there by Schroeder. And that's what you wanted to see on the previous one, where it looked like he had a little gap, but right there, I mean, it was not a big gap, and he hit it full speed to the house.
Going to go 91 yards on the kickoff return. Deer Park trying to once again make it a 3-point game. Splits the uprights. 17-14. Some fireworks here in the final minute.
Some excitement here right now at the very end. Watch this right here where he catches this ball and that first wave hits. It's full speed. I mean, there was no break. Was that Yates leading the way up through the hole, I believe?
Yeah, number 10, Caleb Wingo, actually opened up a hole, kind of bumped his man out towards the sideline, and that just opened up things for Schroeder. And Schroeder, like you said, no hesitancy, never broke stride. 91 yards later, Deer Park once again back on the board, and it's back to a 3-point game. 57 seconds to go in the first half.
I would not be kicking off to him again if I was the Woodlands. Shows it. Speed, no fear. Woo.
Woodlands still with all 3 of their timeouts.
All right, we got a walkie-talkie, or can this headset go down to the field? I need to let the secondary know. Turn your hips and run pretty quick. Nothing deep.
Deer Park going to be kicking it away here. See if they go for another little chip shot. No, line drive kick. And even into the wind, sends his man back inside the 5. Bartolozzi shifting his way and spinning down to about the 25-yard line. Looks like a flag thrown back inside the 20. So if a penalty could pin the Highlanders back, even more beneficial for Deer Park. 50 seconds to go.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a prevent defense in here, or nickel, or you got Wingo. Is that Wingo?
The number 10, yeah, that we have listed is Wingo.
It looks like Wingo is out here on defense, and I saw him try to run in late earlier in a 3rd down situation, which was a passing down situation they tried to run, and they ended up having to call timeout because it was a late substitution. But
so the block in the back penalty going to put the ball inside the 10 for the Woodlands here with 50 seconds to go.
This is a very DB heavy defensive group here. Wingo's lined up at linebacker, and I'm guessing he's spying the quarterback maybe.
Straight handoff, Halsey up the middle, breaks through the first wave, and now he's got the corner before going out of bounds near the 20-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 42 seconds left. Saves a Woodlands timeout.
I was wrong. He was not spying the quarterback. He went and filled like
First down and 10 for the Highlanders.
he's playing linebacker.
Dalton and company looking towards the sideline. Plenty of time. Play clock at 15 seconds. Dalton takes the snap. Clean pocket. Great protection. Going to go back deep again. Ball's going to be caught inside the 30. Going to the ground and making the catch.
That is wild.
Phenomenal effort by Bryson Bourne. going to the ground to haul that one in. 34 seconds left. Woodlands still with all 3 timeouts. And I think they're going to take timeout number 1 right here.
Timeout. Woodlands.
And once again, Woodlands able to hit on another deep ball here late in the first half.
I tell you what, he was not super accurate early on some of those quick passes and intermediate passes, but these last couple deep balls have been on the money. And, you know, I hate to just keep talking about sophomore this, sophomore that, but that's tough, man, for a young guy coming in here and trying to cover some speed like that. But you coach them up, you get them to open their hips early, turn and run. Do not let them go by you. If they slam on the brakes and they catch a 15-yard comeback, who cares? Do not let a deep ball go over your head.
Ball at the 29-yard line of Deer Park. And credit to the Woodlands offensive line. Past couple deep plays for them. They've kept a really clean pocket, giving Dalton all kinds of time to set up, gauge the throw.
We're only rushing 4 the last couple of times we've gone. It's been Wingo and the 3 down linemen.
First down and 10. High snap. Handled by Dalton. Steps up into the pocket. Now escapes. Little shimmy move at the 20 before going out of bounds.
18 with a sneaky block.
And you were calling for it. No flag on the field, though.
Yeah, that was just wishful thinking. Probably wasn't super accurate.
Once again, Dalton under pressure, just able to step up and avoid the contact and what turns what could have been a sack into.
Yeah, you'd like your DNs to be able to find the level of the quarterback and then slam on their brakes so he doesn't have an easy route to squirt out of there.
Fake to give to Jordan. Dalton again. Ball deflected and falls incomplete. Defensive line thrown right into the helmet, looked like. Thomas Johnson.
A little more pressure right there, which is what you want.
Yeah, blew up the running back and still got pressure on Dalton on that play there. 20 seconds to go. Woodlands, no pressure here. Still with 2 timeouts to go. Second down at 10. Dalton again. Escapes the pocket, throws end zone, has a step, and incomplete. Threw it behind and short of his man. Looked like he was trying to go to Gavin, who already has the touchdown reception tonight. A little corner route.
Yeah, he skipped it in there that time again. Seems like when he has been on the move, it's been I mean, I guess that's stating the obvious also. It's very hard for quarterback to run and throw at the same time.
Big third down here, 3rd and 10 from the 18, 14 seconds left in the half. Highlanders send 4 wideouts in the formation. Dalton, quick throw, pass complete to Stewart. Leaps for the first down, see where they mark him out. He does jump ahead down to the 6, and that will stop the clock with 8 seconds to go and set up a 1st and goal. Wow, 8 seconds here. You got maybe 2 plays. Islanders, I believe, taking their 2nd time out here.
Well, hopefully it gets a little bit easier for the secondary right now. You don't have as much field to cover.
That's true.
You're ready to come up and make some tackles, though.
Ball spotted just outside the 6-yard line.
Bend but don't break mentality right here. They've bent already.
See how the Woodlands approaches this. We've seen the success they've had on the ground, and with a timeout left, could try and keep it on the ground. First and goal. Jordan, the running back. Dalton with 4 wideouts, trying to spread out this Deer Park defense.
Outside.
Dalton looking for his man out of the backfield. Thomas Johnson wraps him up. And a great job by Dalton to just throw that one away with 2 seconds to go.
I can't believe it. Great call. They brought some pressure. Outside linebacker off the edge. He's looking to his right, so you got the outside linebacker from the opposite side coming off the edge. Never sees him, and he still is able to flip the ball out there and get the clock stopped.
Thomas Johnson almost unblocked from that defensive end spot. And
right, he pulled the tight end, widened out on the outside linebacker, it looked like. And
24-yard field goal attempt from the right hash for Crudgington. 1 for 2 tonight. This ball able to boot it through as time expires on the first half. Well, Shane, you mentioned it, bend but don't break. And they were able to keep the Woodlands out of the end zone at least as we close out the first half of play. Deer Park and the Woodlands Highlanders with a 20-14 advantage as we head to halftime here from Abshire Stadium. We'll take a break, give you the band show coming up in just a few minutes, but you're watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.
I'm a proud Deer Park High alum, class of 2002. I grew up with Coach Flynn. We played baseball together. Now, I'm an attorney in Houston, fighting to make our community safer. We've recovered hundreds of millions for injured people, from car wrecks to refinery accidents. Deer Park prepared me for the challenges I face today, and when you need help, I'm prepared to fight for you.
This is what we do, Danny. You got to see it to believe it. We deliver quality and quantity in every sub.
And a lot of them in vigor.
Just meats and cheeses.
But definitely some mojo.
Maybe.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's time to live up to your promise. Have you heard about the Promise at San Jack Scholarship? The scholarship offers money to help cover books and tuition for high school graduates from the San Jacinto Taxing District. Go to sanjac.edu/promise to submit your pledge and application for a debt-free degree. San Jacinto College, we're changing impossible to I'm possible.
At Shell Federal Credit Union, banking but better is waiting for you. With only a $5 initial deposit, you can bank with Shell CU if you live, work, worship, attend school, or regularly conduct business in Harris County. For over 86 years, we've been committed to helping Harris County residents build their dreams, and we're just getting started. So if you're dreaming of a new home, a new car, a higher credit score, or more money in your savings, let's build your dream together.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
In 1928, Shell moved to Deer Park and started operations the next year. This was the beginning of a lifelong partnership. Over the decades, the site and community have grown together and stepped up to the challenge time and again. Today, Shell Chemicals proudly produces the building blocks to transform our modern world. They give us the clothes we wear and the gadgets we enjoy. As our employees give back to the community, products made with chemicals care for us too. They help us see better and improve hygiene. Our site creates jobs and helps bring the community together, while chemical building blocks keep us connected, both virtually, physically, and inside our homes. Chemicals help make our world better, beginning right here in Deer Park, the birthplace of Texas.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park.
Great, thanks so much.
It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730 Spencer Highway.
I'm a proud Deer Park High alum, class of 2002. I grew up with Coach Flynn. We played baseball together. Now, I'm an attorney in Houston, fighting to make our community safer. We've recovered hundreds of millions for injured people, from car wrecks to refinery accidents. Deer Park prepared me for the challenges I face today, and when you need help, I'm prepared to fight for you.
This is what we do, Danny. You gotta see it to believe it. We deliver quality and quantity in every sub.
And a lot of them in vigor.
Just meats and cheeses.
But definitely some mojo.
Maybe.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's time to live up to your promise. Have you heard about the Promise at San Jack Scholarship? The scholarship offers money to help cover books and tuition for high school graduates from the San Jacinto Taxing District. Go to sanjac.edu/promise to submit your pledge and application for a debt-free degree. San Jacinto College, we're changing impossible to I'm possible.
At Shell Federal Credit Union, banking but better is waiting for you. With only a $5 initial deposit, you can bank with ShelfCU if you live, work, worship, attend school, or regularly conduct business in Harris County. For over 86 years, we've been committed to helping Harris County residents build their dreams, and we're just getting started. So if you're dreaming of a new home, a new car, a higher credit score, or more money in your savings, let's build your dream together.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Deer Park High School is proud to present our amazing, our beautiful, our talented Deer Park High School Deer Escort Dance Team. Our 25 Deer Escort officers are Lieutenant Hayden Osted, Lieutenant Nicola Barrows, Lieutenant Kira Cooper, Lieutenant Lee Franco, Lieutenant Aaron Morrow, Lieutenant Harry Pena, and our Colonel, Avery Holbrook. Our assistant officers are Executive Medallion, Executive Gianni Gonzalez, Executive Hayden Farrar, Executive Alyssa Smith, Executive Natalie Hunter, Vice President Alicia Reynolds, and President Mariana Clayton. We would like to recognize our Deer Escorts of the Week. They are Emily Denon and Ariel Benavides. The dogs of the week are Federico Pena and Justin Valdez. Spirit dog of the week is Jalen Hickman. Now sit back and enjoy as the Deer Escorts and their dogs perform the Backstreet Boys. Everybody. Contractors, Roofing and Renovation. And now, let's give a big warm welcome to the pride of Deer Park, our 2025 Deer Park High School Marching Band. The band is under the full direction of drum majors, Aiden Crouch, Megan Jensen, Isabella Gonzalez, and Liam Anderson. We would like to recognize our weekly award winners. They are Director Award, Levi Yarborough, Section of the Week, Trumpets. Color Guard Member of the Week, Sadie Avila. Outstanding Officer, Devin Diaz. And tonight, for your halftime entertainment, the Deer Park Band performs music from their 2025 marching show, Waves of Change. welcome in the 2025 Deer Park High School Marching Band and Deer Escorts. The band is under the direction of Trenton Perry, Bob Harkin, Joe Falcon, and Keaton Crawford. Color guard is under the direction of Mackenzie Davidson. Junior high directors are Jeff Murray, Larry Gray, Zach Alcantara, Paul Daniel, Lisa Miski, DJ Dixon, Joshua Pop, and Gavin Bond. Executive Director for Fine Arts is Jason Dove. High school principals are Kirk Taylor, John Wegman, and Leslie Cruz. Superintendent of Schools is Dr. Tiffany Raymond. We would like to thank our sponsors, BMI Solutions and Boom Towing Incorporated. Let's give Deer Park High School Marching Band and Deer Escorts one more round of applause. Let's go, Big Deer!
DPISD is having a parent engagement night on September 30th called Launch and Learn. It's basically school for big people. The main focus will be on our new reading and math programs and showing parents how they can support their kids at home. Parents can also join our breakout sessions with topics like parent square, AI in the classroom, and more. We'll have vendors and fun activities for kids too. We'll see you at 5:30 p.m. on September 30th at South Campus. DPISD is having a parent engagement night on September 30th called Launch and Learn. It's basically...
This football season, score big with Shell FCU. Whether you're driving to the game or tackling your financial goals, Shell FCU has your back with low loan rates, flexible payments, and over 55,000 ATMs nationwide. Auto loans, checking accounts, mortgages, whatever you play, we're here to help you win. Join the team today at shellfcu.org. Text or call us at 713-844-1100. Shell FCU, your financial MVP.
The promise of Sandjack Scholarship makes college without debt possible. Tuition and books for high school graduates living in the San Jacinto College District are covered through the promise of Sandjack Scholarship. Learn more at sandjack.edu/college.
This is not just another thing about Shell. It's about 7 billion people, including our families and friends, which will near 10 billion by 2050, and about every single one of us needing energy to prosper. Because the absence of energy limits choices. Its presence creates them. Our world needs more and cleaner energy to meet the growing demand while ensuring the well-being of current and future generations. This, we know, is a huge global undertaking, which requires collaboration with government, industry, and society. But we are up for the challenge, because innovation and care are in our DNA. Taking on challenges to help the world progress is what we've done since the day we've struggled. At Shell Deer Park, we are proud of progress from manufacturing energy products that fuel our world and are the solutions for our future, all from the historic birthplace of Texas since 1929. We are proud to be part of this community's rich legacy, and our top priority continues to be to operate in a safe, environmentally sound manner for the health and well-being of our community, which includes our workers and all of you. We know we couldn't do our work without your support, so thank you, Deer Park. Let's make the future together.
In 1928, Shell moved to Deer Park and started operations the next year. This was the beginning of a lifelong partnership. Over the decades, the site and community have grown together and stepped up to the challenge time and again. Today, Shell Chemicals proudly produces the building blocks to transform our modern world. They give us the clothes we wear and the gadgets we enjoy. As our employees give back to the community, products made with chemicals care across you. They help us see better and improve hygiene. Our site creates jobs and helps bring the community together. While chemical building blocks keep us connected, both virtually, physically, and inside our homes. Chemicals help make our world better, beginning right here in Deer Park, birthplace of Texas.
Welcome back, everybody. Mason Pratt here and Shane Creel getting you ready for the start of the second half. Deer Park in their home opener of 2025. And a tough battle so far against the visiting Highlanders from the Woodlands. And Deer Park trails as we get ready to start the third quarter, 20-14, but will be receiving the second half kickoff. And some fireworks there towards the end of the first half. Saw some back and forth scoring, some big plays offensively from the Woodlands. And Deer Park able to keep pace a little bit off that kickoff return by Schroeder. Let's see if that momentum carries over here as we get ready to open up the third.
Yeah, Mason, I would really like to see them, like I said earlier, kind of get into that flow with the offense, get into a groove where they're having consecutive positive plays, not one, and then kind of stepping on your feet type of deal. A little bit of balance, getting the play in maybe a little bit sooner. So tempo could have been part of it that kind of threw off the groove.
And like Shane touched on, just being able to build on a consistent drive. That's really how they were able to score their lone offensive touchdown. They were able to string together multiple positive plays. We saw bits and pieces of that throughout the first half, but it wasn't until they were finally able to string it together. They were able to cap everything off with a touchdown run by Aiden LaFrenz.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give the Woodlands defense a lot of credit. Their D-line, their linebackers, they're good. They know exactly what their keys are, what gap they got, and so it is harder to just kind of run the ball on a team like that. But going back to that bag of consistent plays that you have success with, I think is something that you really want to look at. Quarterback run game's been pretty strong for Deer Park. So has, you know, the one screen they threw out there was nice positive yards.
And we open up the second half as they kick away from Schroeder for sure. It'll be Yates from his own 10, starts right, trying to turn the corner, stretching it out, fights his way just shy of the 20-yard line. And the Deer Park offense going to go back to work here to open up the third at their own 19.
never could quite pick a seam to get north and south on. And that's one of those things you saw Schroeder do really well on both returns that he had, where he was pretty quickly going north and south. First one he hesitated a little bit. Second one he was no brakes, all gas, scored on it. Yates right there going a little bit more east and west.
Yates going to start off this drive in the backfield. Sophomore quarterback Hayden LaFrenz back to work. Paradise motions over towards the left side of the offensive line. Arthur French in motion. Fake the reverse to him. Keeper by LaFrenz. Shifty and able to gain a little bit of positive yardage up ahead to the 23.
They unbalanced on that too, weren't they? And there was no shift, like the defense didn't react to it. They got to give it to them to the unbalanced side and let them run to that side where you got blockers out there and guys backed up off of them. I'd love to see that.
Second down at 6. John Arthur French kind of been held in check so far in that first half. Ball at the 23 for Deer Park. 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Starts left, comes back right. Pass intended for Arthur French on the screen, but off of his hands and incomplete.
Kind of a tunnel screen right there where you got your offensive linemen rushing out there. And, man, like I said earlier, those 2 inside linebackers are both holding each other's coattails, flying out there. Not sure he'd have been able to make both of them miss.
Third down at 6. Deer Park trying to avoid a 3-and-out here on their opening drive. Highlanders stacking the box, showing blitz. Play action, LaFrenz under pressure again, steps up, trying to get to the corner. LaFrenz going to take it, picks up the first down, and taken down at the 34-yard line. Number 9, Owen Wills, the linebacker for the Woodlands, finally able to bring down the sophomore, but the Deer able to convert on third down to keep the drive going.
Tell you what, I mean, it's not a bad play if you're going to you sit everybody deep and then just let the quarterback run for it. They didn't get past the secondary, but quarterback decided, heck, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, you saw in the replay there, it looked like number 8, the senior stud linebacker Carlin, was in for spying. Dumping it off now. Aston Jackson hit right as he hauls that ball in. Another former all-district selection for the Woodlands makes the stop. Kaysen Bartolozzi, leading tackler for this Highlanders defense a year ago.
And you know, his dad's the secondary coach over there. It's been there for a long time. It's been really fun to always, like, whenever I coached, watch their secondary, how sharp they were. And he's a, you know, he's a great result of good coaching. And he was coming downhill from 15 yards fast to make that tackle.
Empty backfield look here on 2nd and 8. Another quick little throw pass complete to Arthur French up ahead past the 40.
He had his pick of about 2 guys that ran the same route on opposite sides of the field. Like just a little quick pop passes. We have not seen any of it from Deer Park this game, and not much last game either. And so those are some nice, easy, quick throws, easy catches.
Trying to get Arthur French involved. I believe his first catch tonight. Picks up 6. Third down at 2. Mishandled snap. LaFrenz in trouble. Escapes the pocket, and he's going to be wrapped up and stacked back at the Deer Park 30.
Man, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Loss of 12 on the play.
Ability to string together positive plays is not happening right now for the Deer Park Deer.
They're going to mark him officially down at the 32, so mark it as a 10-yard loss. Mason Hill back on to punt, gets it away. Looks like Parker Stewart gets by the first man and takes it into Deer Park territory before being taken down into the Deer Park bench. And the Woodlands going to start their opening drive of this second half with great field position. Another drive going to be starting inside Deer Park side of the 50.
Makes it tough, losing the field position battle pretty early in this second half.
Ball spotted at the Deer Park 45.
A little bit of a different look on defense. We've got, who's that, Medley playing corner down here at the bottom, I believe.
First down at 10, 3 wideouts, 2 to the far side of the field. Quick little screen, far throw, pass complete to Lancaster, who had that long touchdown reception in the first half. Or actually, scratch that, that's actually number 4. Peyton DePascal picks up about 8 yards on his first catch of the night. I actually don't know if we've seen Lancaster back in the lineup since he had that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Well, I would not be surprised if he was riding the bench a little bit as a point of emphasis.
Design quarterback run for Dalton, picks up the first down inside the 35.
It's twice now they've shown what looks to be a corner blitz almost, using, who's that, Jaden Moore playing corner right now. Move some guys around.
Moore in the lineup there, taking the spot of Sykes, who had struggled in that first half. Handed off for Jordan up the middle on first down. And pinballs off a couple of tacklers and takes it inside the 30. 4-yard gain to the 29.
I'm getting a little caught up kind of watching watching Moore there at the top of the screen. I'm not sure if they're trying to trap with him or bring him, but you got to be real careful because right there it's like he kind of went straight down towards the line of scrimmage, and he had no help over the top if it was any kind of mesh and throw.
4 wide out set here. Snap, another quick little throw, pass complete to Waddell inside the 25, and he powers his way down near the 20. Kyler Ferris on the stop, senior captain in that defensive backfield on the tackle for Deer Park. Another first down for the Woodlands. Ball at the Deer Park 21. Highlanders. A nice methodical march so far down the field. Another far quick throw though. Pass complete and picks up a block, taking it down inside the 15. DePasquale yet again.
It's nice, easy yards when you can complete the quick screen and get one block. And man, got to be a lot more violent and a lot more physical if you're one of those cornerbacks on the edge out there.
Screenplay goes for 7. Coming up on the halfway point already of this third quarter. Jordan, the running back, gets the call here, looking for space, tries to go along the left side. Ferris able to take him down, not before he picks up just shy of 4 yards.
A little bit of kind of what we started seeing happening against LaPorte, where that zone play early on in the game, D-line was I mean, they were making that play, and linebackers were there too. Now you got a safety having to fill, and that was a good job by him filling, but I mean, shoot, you're 4 or 5 yards down the field. The safety's making a tackle.
New set of downs for the Woodlands, 1st and 10 at the 11. Back on the ground, trying to wear down this front 7 for Deer Park. Jordan on the carry. Forward progress going to be stopped. They're going to mark him down at about the 8-yard line.
Dominic Goad right there. Looked like he did a good job kind of scraping, coming off a block and wrapping him up.
Wide out set yet again. Ball in the near hash. 2nd down.
Throw screen again.
Jordan shifts to Dalton's left. Quarterback draw. Lots of space for Dalton. Upended at the 5. Hole closed quickly, but it looked like there was a lot of running room whenever he first tucked that ball.
Yeah. Again, it's the safety having to make the tackle.
Woodlands can pick up a first down without having to pick up the touchdown. That marker right at We're just inside the 1 yard line, but third down, about 3 to go here. Dalton and company trying to cap off this drive with a touchdown. Going to roll them out. Pass complete. Going to be pushed out of bounds. They're going to mark him shy of the first down, about a yard shy at the 2 on the pass complete to Waddell. Fourth down and about a yard to go. And the field goal unit going to come on. Going to look to make it once again a 2-possession game if Crudgington can boot it through. A 19-yard attempt coming up from the right hash. Good snap, good hold. And Woodlands, nice methodical drive after taking over in Deer Park territory. Marched down the field and put 3 on the board.
I guess that is a positive. If you're a Deer, is you got to find positives and then build off of that. You field position when you're not in the best spot. You bend and bend and ultimately keep them out of the end zone, but they still scored 3. What you got to have is you got to have again, I'm saying this exact same thing. You need some kind of extended drive. You get the one positive and you go back 5-10 yards. That cannot happen. Guys have got to be willing to execute, know their job. You don't have to do anything above and beyond your job, but just executing with a little bit cleaner efficiency is going to be huge.
Highlanders back on top by 2 possessions, 23-14. Schroeder once again going to go back deep, standing inside his own 10-yard line. Yates next to him. Ever since that kickoff return for the touchdown, they have avoided Schroeder wisely. See if Yates can make him pay. There you see him, the big play late in that first half. Instead, a little chip shot. And ball takes a hop at the 15, little miscommunication. Yates finally ends up with it. Turns the corner, 1 man to beat, bounces off of him and powers his way to about the 30-yard line. Not as good as you could ask for after the miscommunication there on who was going to field that ball.
Yeah, and I wasn't 100% sure, but it kind of looked like Wingo was maybe calling for a fair catch right before the ball went over his head.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just unable to make that over-the-shoulder catch, and so it just kind of bounced in no man's land. And even after the bounce, he and Yates weren't really sure who was going to pick up the ball. 1st and 10 for Deer Park at their own 31. Coach Flynn calling out the play from the sideline. Play clock inside of 10 seconds. John Arthur French motioning over towards the far side of the field. Play clock at 3. Needing to go quick here, and Deer Park going to have to burn a timeout here with 3:04 in the third.
I'm going to be a little bit critical, Mason. I don't understand not against the Woodlands. I don't understand the running up to the line of scrimmage in a formation, letting them line up to it, and then looking over to the coaches, changing everything. You know how they're going to line up. I mean, they line up the same way. I mean, yes, depending on the formation, but you know how they're going to line up. So what's the point of like looking over to the coaches and wasting all this time? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like you can run out there, line up in a formation, shift to whatever the other formation is you want to do, but you don't got to waste all this time trying to figure out a play call. Get the play call in right off the bat, in my opinion.
Yeah, and especially in what could be a close game down the stretch. And if you don't have that timeout in your pocket, that could loom large.
Certainly, and you know, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. I think you're going to need those.
So after the timeout, Deer Park with 2 wideouts, far side of the field. John Arthur French in the slot. Zuniga, the running back, option look. Little pitch inside, shovel pass to Paradise.
So there's a little wrinkle off a simple power play, really, is what it was. And positive plays. See, they're kind of going quick, tempo, trying to get lined up. Just
they do go quick.
Oh, no.
Thought about the quick hitch. Now finds John Arthur French over the middle, up ahead to the 40.
A little bit of a miscommunication right there, and I don't know if the quarterback, it was his fault or if anybody was at fault, but he looked left, and all the receivers to the left are running downfield like shuffling their feet like they're about to block. John Arthur French is the only one, looks like he's running a hitch, which is what the quarterback was looking to throw. So maybe it was just a little bit of a mistake on the quarterback, who's to say, but it's a good job by him getting his head around, making a nice secure throw, secure pass too.
Makes it a manageable 3rd down and 1 here. LaFrance tries to find a hole, picks it up, going to be marked right at the 41. And we got some pushing and shoving after the fact, and you don't want that after you potentially might have just picked up the 1st down and might be going backwards here.
I'm looking up, I'm not even paying attention to this. I was looking up there with the line judge on the opposite side to see his mark. Did you see what happened, Mason?
I did. Manuel Bustamante, captain along the offensive line, the one that took exception to something. He was fired up. Even after the flags were thrown, he was still going. We got 3 flags on the field right near midfield.
Something with his quarterback. I missed it. I think he was defending his quarterback at the bottom of the pile there. Show it again, Jared. One more replay.
Yeah, he took exception to something because he was going yards downfield.
Yeah, the other two, so my eyes were pulled away by the other lineman downfield that they pancaked somebody, and
yeah, that's where my eyes were too.
They did a what was the wrestling move? It came off the top rope, belly splash, big splash, something splash. They kind of did that. I'm looking at them like, well, that's not the right number. Look back, and it looked like he was kind of stepping over his quarterback, possibly.
After the play, we have fouls on both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 74 of the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 24 of the defense. Those penalties offset. We have 1st and 10 in Deer Park.
Well, I guess offsetting penalties.
Move the chain,
no harm
guys.
there, yeah.
I heard him say it.
So Dylan Carpenter, the guilty party for the Woodlands, number 24, the senior linebacker. He and Bustamante gotten into some pushing and shoving there.
Oh man, Coach Fred is not happy over there on the other sideline. One of my buddies I coached with, he does a good job of the linebackers over here. He's like, why don't you just maybe, did you see it? I missed it again.
Well, it was picked up right as the pushing and shoving started. He was pushing several folks. He was pushing away the whole defense.
It looked like he didn't want him stomping around his quarterbacks, what it looked like.
The important part, though, LaFren's able to pick up the 1st down on that 3rd down run. So a new set of downs, and the offsetting penalties kind of a wash. So 1st and 10 for Deer Park at their own 41. Inside of 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd. LaFren slow plays, now fires a fastball on the slant route, in and out of the hands, though, of Schroeder, who comes up limping.
Schroeder was already kind of limping a few plays before this, or maybe it was the kickoff. And he came back in for this one play, I believe. He is back down. That is
yeah,
not
he had
good.
taken a few plays off, and Isaiah Ramirez was in for him. But there you see the slant route. Nearly able to haul that one in, but didn't see too much. It just comes up hobbling. Hopefully just a cramp there for Schroeder. Good looking throw, though, from LaFren's on that slant route.
It was. He might have had a two-way go, like if he wanted to run it, kind of that delayed QB run he did earlier. Looked like the same type of action where he's kind of just real slow mesh. He's got his eyes downfield. In the first half, he tucked it and ran for it. That time he decided to sling it. Looks like probably is just some cramping going on. They give him some of them salt pills and
How did they deal with cramps whenever you were playing? Just give you a pickle or something? Something with some sodium?
I never cramp.
He's a machine. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Play action. Looking for somewhere. Now LaFren steps up, and he's got running room. Now breaks to the outside. LaFren's off and running. Waiting for a block to get in front, but he will stride out of bounds at the Woodlands 40. Great vision on display once he broke the pocket. Saw the flow of the defense flowing all to that right side, cut back, and there was just one guy there.
You just kind of chuckle almost because it's been their single best play is when he just kind of runs around and then takes off. I mean, you like to see them execute the play. They want to run a little bit better. Come on, guys.
More backyard football than anything. 1st and 10 rather. LaFren's again up the middle, spins off a tackler, and look at the sophomore go.
I tell you what.
Spinning his way down inside the 30 for another 1st down run.
I tell you what, Timothy Park, one of those good inside linebackers, had him squared up. And I'm talking squared up at the line of scrimmage. Let's see this again. Whoop, man. What a play.
Ball at the 28-yard line now. Hand it to Aston Jackson, who finds a little bit of a crease. He's got the 1st down. And now Deer Park starting to string a few things together.
Yeah, and you know, in the last one where he ended up trucking Park, the inside linebacker, it looked like if it was an option to give it, he could have given it because it looked like it was open on the outside. This time they call similar play going the other way. He gives it 1st down.
3 straight 1st down plays for Deer Park on this drive. 1st and 10 from the Woodlands 14-yard line. Just coming up on a minute to go in the 3rd. Yates checks in, slow play, now play action, fires over the middle, passes, caught, touchdown, Deer Park! John Arthur French.
I'm telling you what, the little mesh in the backfield where he's kind of riding the running back, squeezed down the linebacker and safety to where he had the one-on-one with the corner. Great coverage by the corner still. Better catch by John Arthur French.
2 games, 2 touchdowns for the sophomore wideout. .58 seconds to go, mishandled snap, and this point after attempt going to be blocked and picked up on the run. Woodlands going back the other way, and you can put 2 on the board. Bortolazzi all the way back for 2 and another flag thrown. We got about 5 or 6 white jerseys pleading to the official. As once again, Bortolazzi kind of striding, backpedaling into the end zone after a big play. We've already seen that once from Lancaster, and it cost the Woodlands.
And has Lancaster been back in the game since
I have not seen him. He was
a little surprising that it's happened twice now because, you know, discipline is something they're very, very good on over there.
And the fact that it's coming from seniors.
And feels like he already kind of made an example with the last guy, Lancaster.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I think, going to cost the Woodlands 2 points right here.
It is too. Coach Rapp is.
Here you go back to the touchdown, though. Slant route. And like you said, that is great coverage by number 5, Sullivan. And these corners, they've been almost locked down for a large chunk of this game. But John Arthur French able to beat him with leverage on the inside, and great throw by LaFren's. And there you see the bad snap that cost Deer Park the extra point. And this is what cost the Woodlands 2 points right here, the point backwards. And I think he's saying, I'm pointing back to a teammate, but.
Oh, yeah, I would be a pretty round. Who is that, Grew?
Grew in attendance. It is senior night.
Minions.
I believe I was told it's 1 in a minion is the theme. So that's why.
Okay.
So somebody went the other way with it. They just decided to go as Gru, is that his name? Is that right?
Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Great group of movies right there.
So under a minute to go, third quarter. Deer Park makes it back to a one-score game, 23-20. What a game we have gotten here tonight on Deer Park's home opener.
Got guys stretching out on both sides of the Woodlands. Guys got guys getting stretched out, so looking like the cramping is a epidemic with this generation.
It's a generational thing. Okay.
Well, you know, they don't let them work as hard as they used to.
Yeah.
They can't go out if it's 95 degrees anymore. Come on. You grew up in it.
Deer Park going to be kicking into the wind. Bartolozzi, who had the return there that was negated with the penalty, back deep. Also got Parker Stewart rather, back inside his own 15. Line drive kick going into the wind and going towards the far left sideline and just barely rolls out of bounds inside the 5. So that ball going to be brought out after the penalty.
First down at 10 for the Woodlands on their own 30-yard line.
So the Woodlands going to go back out and at least facing a much longer field than what they had on their previous drive that resulted in the field goal. Taken over at their own 30, first down and 10, and this Deer Park crowd starting to get back into it after the Deer Park offense cut it back to a one-score game. Dalton with time breaks the pocket, far side of the field, looking for a block downfield, gets it, takes a little bit of a shot, and a flag thrown as Dalton was going out of bounds. So he picks up the first down with his legs and going to pick up another one with the penalty here on Deer Park.
Oh, man. You know, it's just, he's a great quarterback. We know that. Committed to TCU. It's frustrating when you play good defense and you got a guy and he's able to bounce it outside, and then you make it twice as bad by boneheaded mistake hitting late.
Yeah, close along that sideline, and even if he's a step in, I guess, you know, he's basically giving himself up and going out of bounds, so you don't really need to even put the hit on. And just like that, Woodlands already back on the Deer Park side of the 50, first and 10 at the 46. Keep it on the ground. Jordan mishandled this handoff initially. He's hit at the line, and that defensive line maybe got a little bit of a boost there as they converge and hold Jordan to just a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, you know, but the consistency and continuing to go back to their inside zone run that they do so well, it opens up that quarterback run game, which is what you really just kind of cringe when you think about him pulling the ball.
Second down and 8, what could be the final, or what should be the final play of this third quarter. Once again, handed off to Jordan. Met from the backside, great pursuit defensively from Deer Park there. Michael Benavidez, number 90, coming down the line from the backside and takes down Jordan for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, good job by him. You just need to make sure that you are playing your responsibility and not trying to do. The reason I'm saying that is because the play off of that is him pulling it and running.
Yeah.
So if you get sucked in way too much as an outside linebacker or somebody like that, he's running for a long, long time.
So it'll be third down and 9 as we get ready to open up the fourth quarter. After 3, though, Woodlands holding on to a 3-point lead, 23-20. We head to the fourth next on the Deer Network.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park.
Great, thanks so much.
It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730 Spencer Highway.
Back here at Hampshire Stadium, 3rd down and long for the Woodlands as we open up the fourth. The Deer Park 44, Dalton with time, pocket collapsing, fires, has a man, big hit near the first down line. Going to be just a yard shy on the pass complete to Stewart. They've used him, worked him in quite a bit offensively tonight.
Bam. 4th
down and a yard to go. Offense staying out there for the Woodlands. Deer Park crowd trying to make it loud here on 4th down and a yard. Halsey, the running back, going to lead the way for Dalton. Picks up the first down. Takes it near the Deer Park 30, down to the 31. He picks up 6.
I mean, was there really any doubt that he wasn't going to run the ball on a 4th and short? I feel like Deer Park probably would have done the same thing. Quarterback run game. Been kind of the best running for both teams so far.
Yeah, almost a QB duel on the ground. 1st and 10, ball at the 32. Halsey gets it, cuts back against the grain, and picks up a good chunk of yards down near the 25-yard line.
That's a pretty nice job on the backside there. What was that?
Halsey picks up 6 on 1st down.
It was a Michael Benavidez, man. He had a guy blocking him in his face, and he's just running down the line of scrimmage and brought him straight to the ball carrier.
He's the one who just had that play coming down hard from the backside a few moments ago. 2nd and 4. Halsey stays in at running back. Fake the give to him. Dalton cuts inside the 20. Another Woodlands 1st down.
It's just so tough, man. I mean, even for the safety and the outside linebacker, the end is squeezing down on that zone that they just ran going that way, and so then he's got a back running out to the outside linebacker, so the safety's got to be coming downhill fast, but then you want to worry about him throwing one over your head.
Another trip to the red zone. Dalton, quick throw, pass complete. No, in and out of the hands of Stewart. He's turning his head before he was able to secure that ball. He was already looking upfield, incomplete.
Well, the Deer got a little bit lucky on that one. It looked like both the corner and the safety were about 10 yards deep when it touched his hands.
Haskins checks in at running back, standing to Dalton's left. Fake the give to him, stays in the block, plenty of time, fires over the middle, and incomplete. Woo. Looking for the big tight end, Barefoot. Up the seam a little bit, incomplete.
This way Santos with a pretty nice hit. He's trying to sneak him up the seam there, and he did get a little bit out of position, but made a nice big hit in the body and was able to make him cough it up.
3rd down, 10 to go from the Deer Park 17. Haskins out of the backfield, Dalton with time, fires again, has a man wide open, DePasquale, nobody near him, touchdown.
A little bit of mix-up in coverage right there.
completely unaccounted for as he came underneath.
Yeah.
Woodlands trying to make it once again a 10-point game. It would match their largest lead of the night. Washington on, extra point is up and good. Highlanders extend their lead back up to 10, 30-20 as we just get underway here in the fourth.
Woodlands 30 and Deer Park 14.
Yeah, they had the back out of the backfield kind of clear out that safety, and it looked like but the other safety went with the number 2 receiver up. Just kind of a good concept by the Woodlands right there.
Back up to a 10-point game. Deer Park going to try and respond. Seems like when they've needed to have a response, they've been able to a couple times tonight. Of course, you don't want to have to keep relying on your team to make that response. Just can't quite get over that hump.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you got to tell them, hey, look, it's not over until it's over, and keep on fighting, keep clawing.
Yates and John Arthur French back deep. There'll be another pooch kick. Fair catch going to be made by Wingo at about the 25.
Do not see Schroeder anywhere close.
Yeah, that's
to
what
the huddle.
I was just scanning for. He's
down here walking on his heels, meaning you're right about the cramping. The calves are tightened up right now. He's just trying to get loose.
Trying to work out that cramp and now trying to stretch out that left leg. Just in front of the Deer Park offensive bench, and a penalty on the Woodlands. Deer Park going to elect for the re-kick here.
Flag on the play is offsides against the Woodlands on the kick. Deer Park has elected to add Highlands free kick.
So Crudgington and the rest of this Woodlands kickoff unit going to be pushed back 5 here. 9:44 to go in the fourth. Deer Park trails by 10. Been a back and forth game so far, but like we said, Deer Park, they've been able, after falling behind 10-0, cut it to a 1-score game, fall back behind double digits, back to a 1-score game, and just haven't been able to string enough together to get over that hump.
Dude, he did it again.
And this time it'll be Yates who comes up from it for the 30. Powers his way, the running back going to be brought down.
Back him up again.
Just shy of the 40, and like you said, called it.
Yeah, 25, I think.
Another penalty on this kickoff.
He's standing on the line of, he's like standing on the line of scrimmage. Just watch the ball get kicked.
That Woodlands defense already on the field. They're going to have to
do it again.
Head back towards the bench. And another Woodlands free kick coming up.
I know it seems like Coach Rapp's a little frustrated over there, but he comes down here and steps and just stands in line with the ball. He would see exactly what happened. It was.
There you see a good shot of the new logo for Deer Park. I like it. I like that. I know the Browning logo had a lot of fans, had it for a long time. But I remember when we got that logo, I think I was in high school at the time. Whenever we switched to the Browning, yeah.
Yeah, that was never there, I don't believe, when the Browning logo was used. Kind of blobby, you know?
Yeah.
Compared to Browning itself. I think this new one is nice and clean and sharp. Looks nice. I'd like to see it out of midfield.
Yeah. So 2 straight penalties on the kickoff on the Woodlands has pushed the ball back to the 30. And Crudgington again. Going to boot it deep this time. John Arthur French going to get a chance from his own 13. He's going to try and turn the corner. Gets up to the 35 and will just stride out at about the 37-yard line or so.
Man, he's got some legit speed. We got another flag on the field.
This one thrown back at the Deer Park 30.
It's a hold.
Away from where Arthur French was returning it. Sloppy special teams play right here over the last several minutes. So Deer Park unable at the end of the day to take advantage of those penalties because following the penalty on them, the ball pushed back to the 21. So they lose about 16 yards of difference. LaFrenz and company back to work. Trying to respond. Yates in the backfield. Play clock running. Deer offense waiting to get the signal from the officials. Now play clock resets.
Clock operator put 9:27 on the clock. 9:27.
So they're going to take 7 seconds off. We're going to get back to football here in just a sec, I feel like.
9:27 on the game clock. Game clock operator. 9:27.
But for the Deer Park offense, they've been able, late in the second quarter, we saw them build on some things. Obviously here in the third and fourth quarter, or in the third quarter rather, able to build on, string together some great offensive plays.
Yeah, and who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? That's what you're looking for.
Aston Jackson in motion, but instead they go on the ground. Trace Yates with a big hole, and look at him with the burst across midfield before being gang tackled at the 46.
That was a different look than I've seen from him in the last couple of weeks. It was, he's been very methodical, and he's got great eyes going through the hole, but I haven't seen that kind of burst once he hits it, and that was really nice. Good job, Yates.
And just like that, Deer Park on the plus side of the 50 at the Highlanders' 46-yard line. Zuniga comes in, gives him a break. Play, trying to set up a play now. LaFrenz over the middle pass, incomplete, dangerous throw as he was looking for Paradise over the middle. And Paradise slow to get up. Paradise, the junior.
Hate to see somebody stay down on a collision.
Boy, there was so much pressure on LaFrenz as soon as he dropped back. I thought they were trying to set up a screen of some sort.
I was really confused too because they pulled the left tackle or the left guard all the way to the backside of the formation.
Paradise quick to get up and walk unassisted to the bench, but he'll come off for at least a play. Hopefully see him back in just a sec. Second down and 10 though coming up.
Yeah, kind of a different look at pass pro the way, I mean, you pull tackles and guards all the time for pass pro to make it kind of look like a run play, but he pulled real deep, and there was a couple guys running free.
Second down and 10. Another play action. LaFrenz with a deep drop. Sets up, buys time, throws deep downfield looking for Arthur French. And it's going to be intercepted by the Woodlands down at the Highlanders' 6-yard line.
Well, unfortunately, that was probably not the throw to make from the get-go. He had a hard time getting off the line of scrimmage, and he probably made about 2 or 3 different moves before he got vertical. And man, cornerback, which cornerback was that?
That was number 5, Sullivan. So each of the
he was
corners
not,
tonight with a pick.
Yeah, he was not fooled by it. He stayed with him step for step the entire time. Turn and look for the ball. Man.
Great job to turn his head back towards the ball and, like you said, make a play on that ball. These corners, they are locked down, and great ball skills when the ball's in the air as well.
Yeah, the deep ball has just not been there all night, so I don't understand.
Dalton, quick little throw, pass complete, far side of the field, little wide receiver screen, goes for a few, up ahead past the 10. Pass complete to 86, Dylan Harris. Harris with his first catch tonight, picks up 5.
Thought that was a nice job by Nathan playing, looks like outside linebacker over there. He just kind of threaded the needle between a couple blockers to get him wrapped up.
And once again, on that far side, Jaden Moore showing that, makes a few steps towards the line of scrimmage like he's going to come on a blitz.
Yeah,
and he does kind of come up aggressively. Big hole up the middle. Jordan pinballs off the first tackler, takes it out past the 30. Going to mark him down at the 36-yard line, I believe. He goes for about 25 there, right up the gut. They're actually going to mark him back at the 33.
Well, Kyler Ferris playing safety there. I know it's getting later in the game, but that was one of those things we kind of had a little trouble with towards the end of the Laporte game, was bouncing off the running back, not wrapping up, not throwing your hands, shooting through the hips, running your feet.
Back on the ground for Jordan, this time along the right side again through the first wave. Jordan going to be about a half-yard shy of the first down. But now down by 2 scores and starting to get gashed in the run a little bit here on this drive. Not where you want to be for Deer Park. Can't buckle down and stop the run. You're going to see a lot of this fourth quarter clock melt away. Second and short. Jordan, or actually Dalton on the screen yet again. Gavin picks up the first down, makes a man miss, and takes it out past the first down line and into Deer Park territory at the 47.
Oh man, if there's ever time to sit there and trap the corner, there it is, and he's nowhere to be found. I mean, Moore has been showing it like, what, 3/4 of the times he's been out there, that he's going to sit on the screens, and then they go trips to his side, and he is nowhere to be found, and it's the safety trying to make the tackle. That would have been perfect timing.
4 wide out split, another quick throw, no. Draw for Dalton. Makes a big hit at about the 45.
Dominic Goad.
Goad, Wojtek, Thomas Johnson, all there. Keeping Dalton to just a 2-yard pickup. Play clock at 10. Dalton motions a man over. Hand it off to Halsey. Gets through that first wave, and just like that, picks up near the first down line. Just huge chunk on a not very complicated play.
No, and it's one of those things like we kind of talked about what we were seeing towards the end of the game last week, where your defensive front starts getting tired, and now all of a sudden it's safeties having to make tackles. Right there, the safety coming over with the motion, he stops in the backfield. You need to start screwing down closer to the box, because now you are a box player. your receiver has now become a running back type person. If it turns into a handoff, now you're trying to fit. And he did a pretty good job at a receiver trying to come block him. That was Ferris again, and he was in on the tackle. But you just, everybody's getting, oh!
And Halsey puts it on the turf, and Deer Park recovers.
You want to talk about some timing. It's like,
missed on the exchange to Halsey. Goad able to scoop it up.
hey, look, they get tired too, right? I mean, everyone makes more mistakes when you're getting tired. It's not, we're talking about Deer Park's front being tired. That's an offensive error due maybe to a little bit of fatigue.
And that's surprising with how deep that they've been at running back tonight, that anybody could
get tired,
get a little gas. But Deer Park, just what they needed. Defensive turnover gives Deer Park the ball back.
Oh, yeah.
Look for the quick throw. LaFren's in trouble. Fires over the middle. Dangerous. And luckily it hits the turf innocently, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if I had one thing that I would really encourage, you know, the friends to really work on is when he takes it upon himself to run the ball, that's one thing. When you take it upon yourself to scramble around and make maybe some awkward angle throws, that's another thing that can really hurt your team. So, and don't get me wrong, he is a good quarterback. He's going to be great.
Trying to lead his team back here. 2nd down and 10. Handed off to Aston Jackson, trying to string it out. Flag thrown on the back end of it, but a short run by Aston Jackson. You got flags all over the field, but this one is going to be marked off and potentially coming back.
Yeah, they're going to get Paradise. Him out in space has been a little bit tougher and trickier, and it's a hard thing to do, to ask him to go out there with your running back or your receiver in jet motion coming full speed behind you. So you're just trying to mirror that outside linebacker and do what he does. And then all of a sudden the back bounces the ball outside of you, and you got to let go of the guy you're blocking.
Yeah.
It's just
clock running. Empty backfield here. 2nd down and 20. Quick throw. John Arthur French makes a man miss at the line, trying to get back some of that penalty yardage. And slung down.
I mean, did you see how fast? That's an inside linebacker that almost made that play.
Yeah.
That's an inside linebacker. Or was that the safety? I thought that was number 8.
Yeah,
almost
8
made
was.
that play. He's one of the inside linebackers.
Carlin was flying over there for sure.
They can run. But that's what I was talking about, kind of that quick game and getting the ball out to him quick. Let your players make plays. I mean, he just ate up another 6 yards real quick.
3rd and 14. Woodlands shows blitz. They back out of it. LaFren's fires over the middle, deflected. And there's number 9. Another one of these linebackers in the middle. Owen Wills got a hand on it to bat it away. 4th down.
A couple of pretty deep concepts on that 2 receiver side, and so when you got a pretty disciplined back end with your safety and corner staying over the top, and you got a linebacker just dropping underneath it, it's not necessarily the hardest thing to defend.
You see Wills in the foreground of the screen there, just tracking LaFren's eyes the whole way.
Yeah, there's nothing short, nothing else kind of to throw in the mix.
4th and 14 coming up. Deer Park perhaps with one final gasp to try and keep this drive going, burn their 2nd timeout. And unfortunately, like you've touched on a couple times tonight, the play that Deer Park needs in the biggest moment is one that hasn't really been there all night, is the deep ball.
No, and I get a little bummed thinking, you know, I know that's a big part of their game and something they really kind of hope to hit a couple of home runs here and there, and everybody does, right? But you like to think that we can observe that they're doing just a really good job to stay over the top, right? They're doing a great job. They're well disciplined. They're staying over the top. So the intermediate and the short game is what you're going to have to rely on. If you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, I just don't. personally, I just find a hard time going with the bomb that has not been there all night versus taking a chunk yardage play and then another chunk yardage play shorter underneath the sticks, right? But you never know when it's going to hit. So
4th and 14 ball. Deer Park with it at their own 37-yard line.
I'd like to see multiple levels to the route concepts here. Multiple levels. Something right at the sticks, something blowing the top off, something underneath.
3 wideouts, bottom of your screen. They're going to roll that way. LaFren's in trouble immediately. Slung down. They're actually able to get it away at least. Sideline grab, not going to have enough, even if he was able to haul that one in, but a nice effort at least from number 2 there. Aston Jackson, I believe, almost able to come up with a sideline catch, but again, just a great effort by LaFrance to even give his receiver a chance.
Sprint out to his left again.
Yeah, almost blown up immediately from the speed of these linebackers that you've talked about all night.
I'm gonna get myself fired being too critical.
We'll check the comments later.
I don't like it. I don't like the play call there. I mean, maybe it hasn't been blocked yet. I mean, they've gotten pressure every time we've done sprint out. He hasn't gotten a good throw off yet. So
Woodlands just going to try and run out the rest of this 4:03 as the handoff goes to Jordan. Picks up 5 on first down. And just a well-balanced attack from the Woodlands tonight. They've been able to run the ball really effectively, and then they've been able to burn Deer Park in the passing game with a couple of well-timed deep balls.
And I think they do it pretty simply too. I mean, they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's pretty basic stuff. They just execute it pretty sharply. They've been running inside zone. It gets stuffed, but they're sticking with it, right? So they're sticking with kind of the stuff that they do. And then they have a few little wrinkles off of it. So like the QB pulls it after a couple times. And you get the guy sucked in, and it's an easy run for the quarterback. Or they show a similar type of background action with the quarterback and the running back, and then he's, winging it a mile down the field.
Good play by Kyler Ferris on that last one, holding Jordan to a short gain, 3rd and 5. Call it 3rd and 4. Clock continuing to run. Play clock hits 0 just as they get it away. Hand it off to Jordan again on 3rd down. Slung down. Defensive line able to get there. Sebastian Torres, another one of these sophomores along the defensive line, able to make the stop. 4th down. Clock continues to run inside at 2.5. And with 3 yards to go at the Deer Park 30, Woodlands with that 10-point lead going to try and pick up one more first down and ice it. At least it looks that way. And maybe going to let as much time as they can run off this clock before burning their first time out.
That is the 2-minute timeout in the second half. The last score is Woodlands 30 and Deer Park 20.
2-minute warning, man.
That's going to take some getting used to.
No.
I knew that was instituted in the college game just after watching this last week of games. I think I had forgotten that they had implemented that, but I completely unaware that it trickled down to the high school level as well.
A couple of new things this year at the high school level. They've got some technology they allow on the field now for communication. I don't believe it's anything in the helmets. It's all watches and wrist.
Smartwatch kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's new. Then you got the 2-minute warning. That's new.
Wow.
Basically giving you an extra timeout.
There's probably already some staff somewhere with a tech team trying to hack watches, I bet. Wherever Bill Belichick is.
I didn't know.
And the Woodlands quickly to the line here out of the timeout. 4th down. Trying a hard count here. Now looking towards the sideline. Trying to get Deer Park, trying to make an aggressive play, and Woodlands going to take their first timeout. So with that 2-minute warning, didn't have to burn one. Coming up next for both of these schools, Woodlands going to be back home. Woodforest Bank Stadium going to be hosting Grand Oaks. They've got a big district, so they're already opening up district play next week.
Grand Oaks, the newer of the school in the district.
And for Deer Park, one final non-district game going to be on the road at Barbers Hill. It was a great game last year, triple overtime here at Appshire Stadium that Deer Park was able to hold on and win.
Yeah, they're a good program, so it should be another fun game to watch.
Barbers Hill 2-0 to start the year, picked up a win last night over Manville. Back-to-back games on the road for Barbers Hill to open up the year. Picked up a win over New Caney in week 1. And then high-scoring affair between themselves and Manville last night, 40-35. Eagles picked up the win. Deer Park 2 minutes away from...
We're trying to finish the game right here, right now.
4th down, 3 to go. A glimmer of hope left, but Deer Park going to have to make a stop here on 4th down. Keeper by Dalton, and who else? Dalton picks up the 1st down, and the senior quarterback puts this game on ice with his legs. And when they have needed a play, that has been the man to go to. Multi-year starter. Had over 40 touchdowns combined last year. Always nice when your quarterback can do it all.
Yeah. There's really no doubt who was going to end up keeping the ball again on 4th down.
Hand it off to Jordan here. He weaves his way down inside the 20. A couple more snaps. Going to put this one away.
I don't know, like a little confused. All right. They're still running plays.
Making substitutions. Deer Park going to drop to 0-2 to start the year for the first time since 2020.
And you know, I think that's always something that you think might be a possibility when you schedule a pretty good, you know, non-district games. Woodlands, very solid team. LaPorte, obviously very good in the 5A division, and you know that's a possibility. The biggest thing is making sure all the players are learning from it, right?
Especially with so many youngsters
guys
out there. Yeah,
that's the big thing. The young guys are learning from it, not letting it transfer to the next week.
Highlanders come in on the road and spoil Deer Park's home opener of 2025. The Woodlands picks up the win, 30-20 in a back and forth game. A lot of excitement throughout. Highlanders just able to make enough plays down the stretch. And Deer Park going to drop to 0-2 to start 2025 with one final non-district game coming up next week on the road at Barbers Hill. If you can't make it across the channel, you can always listen. We'll have the broadcast for you, audio on the Deer Network. But a hard-fought game from Deer Park tonight. You were able to see much more of the LaPorte game. How do you think that the progress, what kind of progress Deer Park has jumped from week 1 to week 2?
I think defensively, the front seven as a whole, they look better. Like week to week, you can see kind of the difference. D-line felt like they were able to go longer this game. linebackers, that kind of thing. I felt like the secondary improved in their ability to come up. I felt like they were real slow to come up. Still not great when you have, I mean, still not great, let me put it that way. But, you know, you have that problem when you have sophomores. Getting beat over the top multiple times was tough. Offensively, you know, I just never really felt the groove, and it was getting frustrating for me, and I think it was coming out, and I apologize, but never really got into a real good groove offensively. Now, they did make some great positive plays, and they've got some good stuff on film to get better on. But I tell you what, the quarterback is going to be just fine. The kid is a lot of fun to watch. You can see where he's really taken on that leadership role, and really just by the way that he plays, saying, hey, look, I'm going to go try and do this. You just don't want him doing too much, right?
Yeah, at times it felt very start-stop, or one step back, or one step forward, one step back, because so many good-looking drives where positive things were happening were derailed with either penalties, bad snaps that blew up for huge negative plays. But when Deer Park was able to string those big chunk plays together, that's really when the offense started to click. And now it's just, how can you, and you're not going to get the big chunk plays every time, but it can at least lead to more consistent yards to gain on a down-to-down basis.
Certainly, and I think the good thing is that it is you know, non-district games here. It's good time to work on the learning portions of it, really work on the execution, the discipline. Some of the stuff defensively, you know, even in the secondary, might have just been a little bit of eye discipline. You know what I mean? Just kind of jumping in at times when you didn't need to jump in, turning your hips and running, and offensively, you know.
And yeah, throughout the week, you maybe hear how great the quarterback is, and you maybe key a little bit too much on him.
Yeah, certainly. So there's just a lot of good opportunities for this Deer Park Deer team, and they've certainly got a lot of great pieces to work with. And I know Coach Flynn's going to go in this weekend, get these guys on the film, show them what to improve on, and come back next week firing on all cylinders.
And you're still taking on and hanging with a team that's gone 3 rounds deep over the last several years and could have gone farther had they not run into a team like Duncanville. So if you're looking at this as a barometer, last year it ended up a blowout because of the fourth quarter kind of collapse that Deer Park had. Certainly not the case here tonight. You had opportunities to not only win the game, but like keep yourselves in it for a longer stretch than you did a year ago.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that really separates some of the really good programs, is just the consistency and being able to finish out games like that. Deer Park is right there where, you know, Coach Flynn knows he's fielding a younger team this year, so he knows there's going to be some growing pains, and we know that as well. And so it's like working through those growing pains as quickly as possible that is a challenge. But I think they've got a lot of great pieces to work with, and showed some serious flash here and there with what they're capable of doing. So I think it's a bummer you lose. You know what I mean? You feel down in the moment. But I think when you go watch the film and you look at ways to improve, it'll be all right.
Looking forward to a great year. Some exciting pieces like Shane mentioned, and looking forward to next week. Going to be on the road at Barbers Hill. And like we said, a rematch of a game that went triple overtime last year. Another exciting one that the Deer had a year ago. See if it'll live up next week as well. And if you can't make it out to Barbers Hill, you can also listen, of course, on the Deer Network. But signing off here from Abshire Stadium, Mason Pratt, Shane Creel, everybody here at the Deer Network. Woodlands picks up the win, 30-20. And we'll see you next week as the Deer take on the Eagles at Barbers Hill.